Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mercy. Mercy. Thank you. There are a lot of bishops here tonight. First of all, to Bishop Robinson, thank you for the warm introduction and for your example of courage and perseverance through the journey of rebuilding Macedonia Church. I'm glad, proud to stand with you. Thank you. To Bishop Paul, to Pastor Swan and all the Reverend clergy, to Representative Swan, thank you for being here. To the mayor and the elected officials who were here, to everybody, thanks for coming out. And can we just say that, you guys can sing. Oh, my. Total praise. My goodness. I was thinking to myself, Bishop leaned over to me when the selection began, and he said, "This will minister to you." And Bishop, you were so right. And there are times, I feel so joyful. I feel so happy that I know that the sun is going to shine. And the other candidates in this race are good and decent people. But sometimes I feel sorry for them because I'm not sure they know the sun is going to shine. My grandmother used to say to us, she said, hope for the best and work for it. And one of the reasons why I know the sun is going to shine is because we have been working for it. And I hope we can talk about that some tonight. This is a conversation tonight. It's a conversation. It's not the first town hall. It won't be the last town hall. Throughout the last campaign and the last 4 years, we have had town halls, not because I think I have all the answers, but because I want to make sure that I am addressing the right questions. And so this is really a conversation. And I will be honest and candid with you about the things we can do. I want to be clear with you about some things we have done. And I will try to be as honest and candid about the things I don't think we can do. I ask you, though, to bring not just your issues forward, but your suggestions. Because in order for this or any government to work, and I know the mayor agrees, as do the members of the council, as does Rep. Swan, policy only matters at the point where it touches people. And so we need to talk about how it touches people, how it touches you. I want to say a word or two before we get going, if I may. Can I just say a little bit before we kick it off? Well, no. I'm not. They said preach. I think most of you have been at church today. I hope you have. And those of you who go to black churches know that if somebody starts preaching, there is no telling how long it's going to take. This is no. I say that lovingly. No, but I know it's true. But the point is, this is your time. This is your time. But I told some of you earlier today a story that about a conversation I had with President Obama when he came to visit Boston in the fall. And I went out to the airport to meet him. We were riding back in together, and he asked me about the coming campaign, and he how I was feeling about it. I told him I like campaigning, and I do. I like being out. I like engaging with people. I like listening to people, for all the reasons I said before. I told him, though, I said, Mr. President, there are two things I don't like about campaigning. One is asking people for money when they don't have much of it. And the other part of it, I said, is the bragging. And he looked out of the window for a second, he turned back and looked at me, and he said, Deval, he said, get over it. So I want to be clear. I am so over it. As hard as this economy has been, as hard as it has hit all of us, every individual, every household, every business, large or small, every government, local and statewide, I do want you to know that hardship is not our only reality. It is not our only reality. The sun is going to shine. And the sun has begun to shine. We have faced up to $9 billion in budget gaps at the state level. That represents about a third of state spending. I wonder if some of you here can imagine a third of your household budget going away. I'll bet some of you can. And that has required some very difficult and painful decisions. And we have stepped up and made them. And I want you to know, in making them, I have never lost sight of the fact that there is a human being, somebody's best chance, in some cases only chance, behind every one of those line items. But because we've stepped up and made those decisions, we have delivered 3 budgets now that were responsible, balanced, and on time, not something many other states can say. Our bond rating has been reaffirmed. And meanwhile, we've continued to govern. We are first in the nation in student achievement, first in the nation in health care coverage for our residents, first in the nation in clean and alternative energy policy. None of that is by accident. It's because we know if we focus on those and a few other areas, then the Commonwealth will be stronger for a long time. And I want to emphasize this point that it's not by accident, because I keep hearing these good and decent challengers act as if everything good that happens in the Commonwealth is by accident and everything bad, including the rain, is my fault. Our economy here in this Commonwealth is outperforming 48 other states, according to the Philadelphia Federal Reserve. Moody says that we turned the corner in January and are coming out of recession faster than the rest of the country and stronger than we were before. We've had 2 straight months now of job gains, a lot more to do. And for the first time in 20 years, young people and families are moving into Massachusetts faster than they are moving out. Not by accident. We have stepped up and faced up to some of the most nagging issues up on Beacon Hill. We've ended abuse in the state pension system. We've tightened the ethics and lobbying rules. We've simplified the transportation network, shut down the Turnpike Authority, and saved you $250 million on the way. Your auto insurance rates have come down because we introduced competition, which brought 11 new companies and hundreds of new jobs as a result of that, including right here in Springfield, thanks to Liberty Mutual and Progressive. You need to know that. We put civilian flaggers at state construction sites. And of all the reforms, education reform is the one I think most meaningful. Because for the 17 years we've been on this journey of improving the public schools, we have for the same length of time left behind poor children and children who speak English as a second language or who have special needs. More often than not, children of color. And that's an educational problem, it's an economic problem, but it's a moral issue too. Those are our children too. Our children. And now we have the tools to reach them. There are more public works projects going on in Springfield and all across the Commonwealth than in the history of the Commonwealth. Road, rail, and bridge projects, public and affordable housing, recreational spaces, investments in our public college and university campuses, reinvesting in ourselves, creating jobs right now, and value out and quality of life for a long time to come. Now, I know we're not done. I know we're not done. Goodness gracious, whenever you talk about the statistics that show how we are moving forward, look, if you are out of a job or at risk of losing your home, you could care less what the statistics say. I know that. I'm not asking for a second term as a reward for the first. I'm asking for a second term to finish what we started. Simple as that. See, it's a great thing to have the tools to close the achievement gap, but we still have an achievement